not watching on YouTube, you're missing our nice little photos.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the NFL Week 14 best bets. I'll let you lead the way.
All right. We continue to pick Saquon Barkley lines, and they continue to pay off. This week, it's a little different because the defense he goes against is bad, and he's having monster numbers. His rushing is under 113.5. His rushing and receiving is at 134.5. And
numbers.
those, I was just going to say, those are big numbers.
Yeah.
So let's actually pivot a little. And
pivot. Sorry.
Gosh dang it.
I can't hear that word without hearing that.
Okay. Let's go with Barkley, longest rush over 19.5 yards at -125. He's had a 20 plus or more yard run in the last 3 games and in 7 of the last 10.
Yeah, he's had a really impressive season.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes you back to that Giants clip where I think it was one of the staffers saying to the coach or the GM, "Are we sure nobody's going to pay this guy? Are we sure nobody's going to give this guy some, big money and he's going to do really well?" And the Giants let him walk to their rival, the Eagles. I don't know. It's just stupid. I wanted to target this guy's receptions, but when I was looking at lines, now it might be available now, but when I was looking at lines, they were not available. So my official bet that I'm going to give out is Jakobi Meyers over receptions. I think that'll probably be at 6.5. I like the over. We talked about how many targets he's been getting these past couple weeks, but I don't hate his receiving yards either. He's been on fire. It's 62.5 yards at -125, and the Bucs haven't been great against wide receivers, especially ones out of the slot, as you said. I like parlaying his receptions with Brock Bowers' receptions once those are available as well. Just both those guys are going to get a lot of targets, I feel like. That's their offense.
Mm-hmm. All right. I've also got Isaac Guerendo for the longest rush. The books don't have a number set for this yet. At least they didn't right before. Probably due to waiting to hear all of the news on the 49ers rushers.
Yeah, they've been slow.
They have
noticed.
been. But I am going to take the over on Guerendo's longest rush, whatever it is. Taking the over. We've seen his big playability when he was filling in for Jordan Mason.
Mm-hmm.
And we have already talked about how the Bears defense is not great against the run right now.
Yes, we do kind of suck against the run. I agree. I'm going to give out an anytime touchdown parlay because I cannot quit them. And we've not had great luck hitting them. It's always one person that fucks it up for us. But I instead of going 5, I went to 4. I thought that would give me better odds. So I've got Saquon Barkley. He's been a machine.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky Irving has been a machine. He got injured in the game last week and then came back in and blew up with long runs and a touchdown. Really saved some fantasy games, especially for myself. Bijan Robinson, I think they're going to have him involved for the Falcons. And then I got Keenan Allen, who has 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. DJ Moore might be hurt. He hasn't practiced for 2 weeks. Take those 4, parlay them. It's 1-3-7-5, so a little over 13.5 to 1. And I feel pretty good about it.
All right. My next one involves Kirk Cousins. You already talked about him in the starts section. I'm going to target him for betting.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Kirk Cousins over 1.5 passing touchdowns. This is plus, hold on, I need to double check this. This is not right. He's okay. Plus 125. And he's on a cold streak and he's thrown 0 passing touchdowns in the last 3 games. But against a bad Vikings defense, and I'm thinking there's going to be some sort of, revenge angle.
Yeah.
So I'm taking him to throw 2 or more.
I like taking the revenge plus positive regression.
I always like taking the revenge.
Take the revenge.
What does that say about me?
Good question. Hey, I don't know if you heard earlier in the show, but I'm number 1. I'm number 1 against the spread here, and in on Tally site.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give out my best against the spread plays. I'm going to lock them in. I know some people had reached out for them. Eddie, a new follower, was asking where can I find them? Where can I find your locks? I said, come on over to Old Fashioned Football. we got them. So I got Buffalo -3.5 versus the Rams. Buffalo just beat the Niners 35-10. The Rams are a good team, but they're not a huge step up from the Niners, in my opinion. 3.5, not enough points. Got Tampa Bay -6.5 versus the Raiders. Raiders, they played chippy. They played well against the Chiefs, but that was against the Chiefs. I think Bucks get back on track and do really well. And then Falcons +6.5 versus the Vikings. We talked about the revenge angle already. So I think they're going to be able, I don't know if the Falcons win, but I think this is a 3-point game either way. So I like Falcons +6.5. And then I've been giving out a teaser. So the teaser I like this week, Eagles tease them down to 6.5 versus the Panthers. They're a far better team, despite the Panthers being feisty recently. Bucks tease them down to 0.5 point. So just got to beat the Raiders. I think they do that easily. And then Saints tease to +1.5 versus the Giants. I think they win that game. So I like take those three, put them in a teaser parlay. It's +140, easy money. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.